Welcome to Life Stories Network, the place where real emotions meet unforgettable stories. Today, I'm taking you inside a story that will test love, trust, and the bonds that can either hold a family together or break it apart forever. It started as what should have been a happy day, one of those moments you hope to lock in your memory for years. But sometimes the day that should bring smiles ends up leaving scars. That's exactly what happened here. And once you hear this story, you might look at family gatherings in a whole new way. I remember the first time I walked into their house. It wasn't just walls and furniture. It was filled with warmth, laughter, and the smell of home cooking. For a long time, I thought I had found the closest thing to a real family. I thought love was enough. But I learned the hard way. Sometimes your place in a family isn't as strong as you think it is. She was the type of woman who could light up a room. My stepdaughter. When I married her father, I promised myself I would never try to replace her mother, but I would be someone she could count on. Someone who would show up at every school play, clap the loudest at every graduation, and sit by her side when life felt too heavy. And I did. Every single time. I gave her my best. I thought she saw me as family, not by blood but by love. Years of late-night talks, wiping away tears, and celebrating milestones. I believed those moments mattered. But when her wedding day came, I realized how wrong I had been. The wedding hall was glowing. Flowers, lights, and people dressed in their finest. I had dressed up too, my heart heavy but proud. I wanted to be there, to see her walk into her new chapter. But the words she gave me that day still echo louder than any music that played. She looked at me with a smile that wasn't kind. It was sharp. And she said, "You should be grateful to sit in the audience at my wedding." Those words cut deeper than any blade ever could. In that moment, I wasn't her second mother. I wasn't the woman who raised her alongside her father. I was just a guest. A stranger who happened to sit in the same room. I felt the air leave my chest. The laughter and music around me became muffled, like I was trapped in a bubble of silence. My eyes burned with tears I refused to let fall, because I didn't want anyone else to see me break. Years of love invisible. All the sacrifices forgotten. I had imagined she would introduce me proudly as her stepmother, maybe even thank me for being there. But instead I was pushed aside. Her father didn't say anything. Maybe he was too caught up in the joy of the day. Maybe he didn't know what she had said to me. Or maybe he just didn't want to choose between his daughter and his wife. But his silence hurt almost as much as her words. I sat through the ceremony. Every vow and every smile a reminder that I was an outsider. When people clapped, I clapped too, forcing a smile that felt like it was painted on my face. But inside, I was breaking into pieces. I thought about walking out, leaving the hall and never looking back. But then I thought of all the years I had spent raising her, loving her, and being part of her life. Walking away would erase all of that. So I stayed, silent, invisible. When they had their first dance, I remembered the nights I had danced with her as a little girl, holding her hands, spinning her around the living room while she giggled. She probably didn't remember those nights. Or maybe she just chose to forget. The night ended and people celebrated, but I carried a wound no one could see. I left the hall with my husband, but not with the same heart I had walked in with. Something inside me had changed forever. Later that night I lay awake replaying her words. Grateful to sit in the audience. I wondered if she had ever seen me as family at all, or if I had just been filling a role until she no longer needed me. I thought about the meaning of family. Is it only blood that defines it? Or is it the love, the sacrifices, and the memories that count? I had always believed love was enough, that you could build a family with open arms and a big heart. But maybe for some people, blood will always matter more. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to yell. But all I felt was sadness. A sadness so heavy it stayed in my chest for days. I know now that not everyone you love will love you back the same way. Sometimes, your role in someone's life is smaller than you thought. And that's the hardest truth to face. Even today, when I think of her wedding, I don't think of the music, the flowers, or the happiness. I only hear her voice reminding me that in her eyes, I was never really family. Still, I don't regret loving her. I don't regret showing up, even when it meant being invisible. Because love, real love, isn't about what you get back. It's about what you give, even if it costs you. I've learned to carry that lesson with me. Some wounds never heal, but they teach you how strong you are. And sometimes strength is found in silence, in holding back the tears, and in walking away with dignity. So if you ever feel invisible, if someone ever makes you believe your love doesn't matter, remember this. You did your part. You gave your heart. And that alone is something to be proud of. That was my story. And I hope it reminds you that even in the darkest moments, you are still worthy of love, even if some people fail to see it.